Canada is in the middle of one of the most ambitious construction eras in its history, and most people have no idea it's happening. From dense urban cores to coastal waterways and underground river crossings, 2026 marks a turning point. Long-planned megaprojects are no longer proposals or renderings. They are active construction zones reshaping how the country moves, works, and grows. These are not isolated developments. Together, they represent a coordinated national effort to modernize transportation, expand critical infrastructure, increase housing density, and prepare cities for decades of population and economic growth. Across rail corridors, airports, highways, ports, hospitals, and energy facilities, Canada is quietly rebuilding itself, one massive project at a time. In Calgary, the Green Line LRT stands as one of the most significant urban transit projects under construction in 2026. Designed to connect the city's inner core with southeastern communities, the line aims to rebalance Calgary's transportation network around high-capacity public transit. Phase 1 spans nearly 18 kilometers, stretching from Shepherd in the southeast to Eau Claire in the north. Construction activity this year is intense and multi-layered. Downtown, deep excavation dominates the landscape as crews use cut-and-cover methods to build underground sections through dense urban blocks. Shoring walls, tunnel boxes, and station structures are rising at the same time, while utilities are carefully relocated to keep the city functioning above ground. South of the core, work transitions to elevated guideways and at grade alignments. In neighborhoods like Ogden and Linwood, concrete track beds are forming, steel supports are rising, and bridges are being assembled over roads and waterways. Station construction is advancing across multiple zones, with platforms, roofing systems, elevators, stair towers, and power substations all under development. By late 2026, early systems installation begins, setting the stage for passenger service targeted in 2027. At Toronto Pearson International Airport, one of Canada's most strategically important infrastructure programs is deep into construction. The airport's long-term expansion is not just about increasing capacity, it's about transforming Pearson into a fully integrated regional transit hub. In 2026, work on Terminal 1 is expanding the building's footprint with new gates, modern baggage systems, and upgraded passenger processing areas. Structural framing, mechanical systems, and vertical circulation cores are rising while airside apron work continues alongside active aircraft operations. At the same time, a new regional transit and passenger center is taking shape between Terminals 1 and 3. Built to support future rail connections, the hub involves complex foundation work, underground structures, utility trenching, and pedestrian tunnel systems. Road networks around the airport are also being reconfigured to improve traffic flow and separate public, commercial, and transit vehicles. By the end of 2026, major sections are expected to be weather-tight, accelerating interior systems installation. In downtown Toronto, vertical construction is redefining the skyline. The SkyTower, part of the Pinnacle Yonge development, is rising rapidly and is on track to become the tallest residential tower in Canada. In 2026, reinforced concrete cores and superstructures dominate activity. Crews are completing floors on tight cycles, often adding a new level every few days. Elevator shafts and stair cores climb upward in precise sequencing, while curtain wall installation has begun on lower levels, allowing interior work to start below. At street level, podium structures housing retail, amenities, and public spaces are already enclosed. Given the site's proximity to the waterfront and major expressways, construction logistics are tightly controlled, with cranes, hoists, and perimeter protection systems operating continuously. Beneath the Fraser River in British Columbia's Lower Mainland, one of Canada's most complex transportation projects is underway. The Fraser River Tunnel will replace the aging George Massey Tunnel with a modern, high-capacity crossing between Richmond and Delta. In 2026, construction advances on multiple fronts. On both riverbanks, excavation and foundation work for tunnel portals is underway, supported by deep shoring systems and extensive dewatering operations. Off-site, massive concrete tunnel segments are being fabricated to exacting tolerances. Each segment will be floated into position and sunk into a dredged trench along the riverbed. Marine operations include dredging, temporary docks, and transport system setup. Once complete, the tunnel will carry 6 traffic lanes and a dedicated multi-use path, dramatically increasing capacity and safety. In Kitimat, British Columbia, LNG Canada Phase 2 is scaling energy infrastructure to an unprecedented level. Following the near completion of Phase 1, the expansion is designed to double output by adding 2 additional liquefaction trains and expanding site infrastructure. In 2026, work includes major earthworks, foundation pours, and preparation for large-scale steel erection. Piping systems, storage tanks, control buildings, substations, and flare systems are advancing in parallel. Marine infrastructure is also expanding, with dock upgrades, dredging, and shoreline protection underway to support increased LNG carrier traffic. Healthcare construction is also reaching historic scale. In Mississauga, the Peter Gilgan Mississauga Hospital is entering a critical phase in 2026. The main hospital tower has reached full height, with exterior cladding, roofing, and mechanical penthouse installation underway. Inside, patient rooms, operating theaters, imaging suites, and emergency facilities are rapidly taking shape. Podium levels housing laboratories, outpatient clinics, and support services are also under construction, alongside site-wide utility upgrades and redundant power systems. By the end of 2026, access roads, drop-off zones, and landscaping are expected to be largely complete. Meanwhile, the Ontario Line is reshaping transit across Toronto. Stretching 15.6 kilometers and adding 15 new stations, the line will significantly relieve pressure on the city's overcrowded subway system. In 2026, tunnel boring machines are advancing beneath downtown, while cut and cover construction, elevated guideway assembly, and station construction progress simultaneously across multiple sites. Utilities are being relocated, piers erected, and structural cores formed, keeping work moving on multiple fronts at once. Beyond major cities, Canada's infrastructure push continues across ports, rail, highways, and water systems. At Roberts Bank Terminal 2, dredging and land reclamation are expanding container capacity at the Port of Vancouver. Across the Greater Toronto and Hamilton area, GO Expansion is transforming commuter rail into a 2-way, all-day regional system. In downtown Toronto, long-term rehabilitation of the Gardiner Expressway continues, replacing decks, upgrading barriers, and reinforcing aging structures while traffic flows overhead. In North Vancouver, construction of a new wastewater treatment plant is advancing to meet modern environmental standards. What makes 2026 remarkable isn't just the size of individual projects, it's the sheer number happening at the same time. Canada is rebuilding how its cities move, how energy is produced and exported, how goods flow through ports, how healthcare is delivered, and how millions of people travel every day. These megaprojects are complex, slow, and often disruptive. But together, they form the physical foundation of Canada's next generation, being built right now. Canada isn't just building projects, it's building the next chapter of its future, piece by piece, year by year. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Canada's biggest megaprojects, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.